that, but there was two facilities. All in order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Yep, it was posted on the website and on the door last Friday.
Roll call.
Yeah. Brophy, Jazinski.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Safety, here, house.
Yep.
Wait.
Here.
So far.
Yeah. And brings us to any changes or corrections.
I did make a correction to the agenda that was sent out to you guys. The copies that you have, second page. I forgot a zero in the amount that was going to be paid to Ellis Stone.
On the sun side, right?
No, unfortunately not. That was the only change. Got it this morning.
Okay, thank you. We'll do a minute, regular board of trustees on December 8th and the special board of trustees on December 15th.
I can hear me.
Any second? Okay, ready to go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment? We have none, I believe. Any announcements?
Just the one that I put out on owner for you guys. I sent myself a copy. Chamber of Commerce banquet, annual banquet, RSVP by February something, I think.
Yeah, I'm in February.
February. I went for the first time last year, never having gone before, but it was good. I thought it was really good. First, we'll be honoring a business of the year and the citizen of the year. So McNeely Insurance and Mary's Lawn.
Public Works report.
We been a little bit of a battle lately with some of the streets with the snow and the rain and turning into slush, but I think the guy's been doing a really good job. We had a steering sector go bad on that plow truck, but that's repaired, nothing's been fixed. As far as we had a water main break over on Pine Street. We've got that repaired and done. And then this past Monday, we brought the new plant into trying to get into production. We've been working with that. It's been a bit of a struggle, but we're making headway with that. So that's about the extent of
Seat of your pants, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job. Any questions for John?
Were they able to get that route reprogrammed for you?
They actually took it last Wednesday with them back down to Madison, and they're gonna program it and bring it back. He's thinking maybe possibly tomorrow, Wednesday was when he was gonna.
Yeah, I was thinking about it this week.
Yeah, later this week, he'll be back in the area, so he'll bring that software broker back, and it was a 5-hour programming process.
Wow.
From the new plant, they were actually, one of the guys was going back down to LWL in Madison, so they took it back and they're reprogramming it down there instead of trying to do it remotely through his laptop and program it here. They were going down and he was going to be back in the area, so he took in well 7. None of the existing other wells, we've done anything with the other plant or the other wells. Our plan is the new one has to run glitch free for 10 days, 14 days, glitch free on its own before we start the other ones. Because once we take the electronics out of the other well house and the other wells, they're down for, 3 to 5 days with no option of bringing them back online. So the new one is kind of our timeline to do the rest of the switch over is on this one running glitch free for almost 2 weeks before we can depend. Because once we make that decision to tear all the electronics out of the other ones to do the update, they're dead in the water for 3 to 5 days or whatever. That's
gonna fill the tower.
Exactly, and that's part of the problem we addressed for several days is it can't communicate with any of the rest of the systems because of the difference of 1998 technology to this technology. We're trying to make it run without even knowing there's towers there. It can't read the levels of the towers. It can't communicate with the other plant, the other wells. So it's running off of pressures and other things, which has been a little bit of a struggle to get it, but we're getting there. But it's kind of hard because later on, it'll communicate with the water tower. It'll communicate with the other plant. It knows exactly what's going on, but right now it's kind of on an island of its own and doesn't know anything else is in town other than it, so it's kind of where we're at. It's a little bit of a design problem, or not design problem. It's a little bit of a tricky situation because it can't communicate with the older technology. So
You gotta balance your pressures.
yeah. So basically, and there's a little problem, not a problem, but the pressures at the tower, the farther you get out of the system, the pressures drop and drop and drop. So, and then when people start using water at night, it sees that as the tower going down, and it's not that the tower went down because the pressure's going, it's seeing a little pressure drops out there, but everybody came home, started washing clothes, doing laundry. So we're just trying to get it to interpret, what's going on as far as, because the tower is so far away. This current plant is only a half a block away from the tower, so now you got a tower over here and a plant way on that end of town. And it's relying on pressures to know how much water's in the tower. So it's just been a little bit of but we're getting there. Now we're just getting some bugs worked out with some of the command systems of it. That
Quality.
we've been testing it. We had one little problem, a glitch, but we've been, like, when we're running it out there, we'll start drawing water out of a sample, and we pull samples every 45 minutes. But we had to pass our DNR bacteria tests before we ever even brought it online. So that was the week prior to last week. Make sure it was safe water. And now, so when we're sending water, most of the time we've just been running it out to the field. And then so we can keep testing it, every 45 minutes. And if we make a change to a chemical pump or something and testing it, but we have a fire hose going out and just sending it to the field. So
Volume.
yeah, we have it set right now running 200 gallons a minute, and it does no problem. It stays right there, and it's not even maximum, but that was just the number we have right now.
There's more than that.
We could run it harder. When it starts up, it pumps 275, or better almost. But we just have it maintaining. It actually goes over 300 when it first starts, but we picked 200 right now because we're trying to match the water going out with the number coming in. So if we keep the number coming in constant, it helps it trying to send it out. But that's where we're running it right now. It's at 200 gallons a minute for hours on end. And, we pumped it 6 to 8 hours in a row, no problems. It just stays right there. So we're getting good water quality as far as the testing of it, and the volume. That well is producing as much as our other three combined. So right, yeah. I mean, right now we have 190 roughly coming in, 185 to 200 coming into the old plant. This one we're running at 200. So. Yeah.
Any other question? Police chief's report.
The chief attended Village Board of Trustees, Personnel, and Chamber of Commerce meetings. During the month of December, officers handled 176 calls for service, issued 6 citations and 3 written warnings. We ended 2025 with a total of 2,126 calls for service. In 2025, the department issued 226 citations and 57 written warnings throughout the year. Routine maintenance was performed on all squads.
Any questions? Yeah. I'm looking at your lead report.
Sure.
How many months was Mindy with us?
Since October, or she was done in October, early October.
10 months.
Yeah, she had, her mom passed away in
Right.
August, was off for.
I'm just looking at these numbers based on, I know it wasn't a full year.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question? Okay. And then, let's see, service. I was gonna ask a question. What is RMS report?
That's our reporting system, like whatever, some calls that you go to, we add notes on, but some calls. We have to do a full report on, detailed report. So the RMS is just on our side of the system, what we're putting numbers on.
So it's the name of the software or something?
Yeah, it's an RMS report, yeah, name of our report rating system.
It's a records management system.
Record that, well, there you go, that makes sense. Other complaints. Extra patrol. Extra patrol would refer to what?
Refer to like, you know, if a citizen or anybody in the community has a problem with speed. We get a complaint about it. You know, say it's over by the school, we'll make sure we document,
okay.
hey, we're sitting here from this time to this time, and if they call and say, hey, you guys aren't doing anything about it, we can document. Well, we have an officer sit there from 10:30 AM till 11:15 AM on a radar, X amount of stops.
Okay, that's,
So it just kind of helps track that a little bit.
good. And then, it appears that you're the most active.
I mean, yeah, whatever, I guess officers wanna, you know. Not, some of these numbers you can't help, you know,
Don't
like,
get like the state patrol.
and some numbers you can't handle, you know, other components handled or something like that, whenever it comes in, it kind of.
I just noticed that, yeah, just noticed the number count. Okay,
That's a quota.
thank you.
That's not a quota.
He's got the night shift, so all the weird shit's happening. He's paying for himself, that's all he's doing.
Usually it.
I have nothing on the president's report. On the new business. Item A, discussion and possible action on the Spencer FFA request for an addition to the welcome to Spencer sign. We're talking about the electric one.
We are talking about
Okay.
both the marquee sign on the south side of town and the other one on the north side of town, but Kirk wasn't able to make it today. So he is gonna reschedule to the next meeting. What he wants to do is recognize one of the Zimmermans for their time on the state FFA. I think she was president, maybe president or some high level position at the either the state or even the national FFA level. I can't remember. National, okay. And he wanted to get that recognition on the welcome signs. So what he's looking at is just adding a strip on the bottom of the signs, like on the north side of town. Might be the only one that they add to, because at 45 to 35 miles an hour, they're not sure a sign on the marquee on the south side of town makes sense because people might not really be able to read it going fast. For sure, on the north sign, he thought a banner on the bottom of the sign where all the different organizations are represented by the squares. He would just add a rectangle at the bottom to recognize Zimmerman. So
We need to have him come in next meeting, or can we just go ahead and?
Yes.
if you guys are okay approving it now and we'll get the design and we can bring it back later, but that would.
I make a motion to approve.
Yep, okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item B, discussion possible action on the city of Marshall request to authorize notice for a temporary appointment to fill the vacant position of municipal court judge.
So our previous judge, Judge Kraus, retired at the end of the year. And unfortunately, he retired too soon to get a replacement elected during a normal cycle. So we're gonna be appointing a new judge to sit in that position until an election next fall, or this fall, rather. So Marshfield has asked Spencer and Stratford and Marshfield tomorrow will approve advertising for that position. So that's what this notice is. We'll just be advertising for an interim judge to sit until the election this fall.
Okay, so move. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item C. Discussion possible action on the city of Marshall's request to appoint a board member to a joint team, to review the responses and make a recommendation to fill the vacant position of municipal court judge.
Marshall's asked for one board member from each community to sit on a selection committee to review applicants for that position. I think Harry had expressed an interest in doing that this cycle.
I will do it now. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Opposed? Sorry. Motion carried. And B, discussion possible action on the approval of a Hawkins Ash proposal in 2025 annual audit for $35,400.
Was
Was that last year?
34.9.
Okay.
It went up just a few $100 this year.
Take a motion to approve.
Hell of a lot of money.
Second.
Is.
Moved and seconded. Roll call on this one.
Rosie,
Yes.
Jazinski,
Yes.
Bose.
Yeah.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Jones,
Yeah.
White,
Yes.
so far.
Yes. Motion carried. Item E, discussion possible action on the creation of a police department sergeant position.
Can you hear us, Sean?
Yes, so I am requesting approval for the sergeant and the job description. This position will support the chief of police with the administrative functions of the police department.
We discussed it before.
Yeah.
Very little though. Yeah, well, yeah. We could talk about it.
Part of it is that, right now with John's on vacation. It's like, you want someone to be acting responsible for leadership or guidance of the department when it's gone. I know his feeling that you come back vacation, the desk is just full with, you know, things that probably could have been taken care of, or had somebody else going to pick up the ball and take care of it. So he'd like to establish a position within the department that have a second in command. I feel it's necessary. There'd be questions about it. I mean, Sean, is there a increase in salaries or how are you doing that?
There would be a small increase. I've done some research, and the typical salary for that is $1 or $1.50 more an hour for that, on top of the regular patrol wage.
So I guess there's a little financial difference from agreed to a contract.
Is that
Is that
pay increase all the time or just when that individual takes over?
It'd be all the time.
Because he's not a sergeant part-time.
and is
That's my question.
you want another one? You had another one?
Well, the other thing in the back of my mind is upon replacement of the chief, does that put us in a position where the sergeant automatically steps up?
No,
No.
No.
It's up to a point.
no, you'd have to
You'd have to
apply
apply
for
for
the
it.
position, and you'd have to advertise that position.
Technically, I think
Sergeant could fill in temporarily, but if you could be
Yeah.
permanent, he would have to apply to something.
Then
You
you
have to
have,
put his foot, you have to put it, you have to put forward and say, to want this position, you still have to advertise it.
Right.
If he's the best candidate for the job, yeah, then absolutely.
But if we were,
Well, just
Yes.
to be clear, in the description that Sean has written, it says upon permanent separation of chief of police's employment, the sergeant will fill the role as acting chief of police until such time as this commission can appoint someone else as acting chief of police to fill the temporary police position. So
Yeah, he filled, yeah.
They
That's what
will,
it said.
they
Yeah,
will
he,
fill.
yeah, he fills it until permanent replacement is,
step into that
Selected.
position,
yeah,
but
yeah, it's
to
temporary.
have it be the police chief permanently, you would have to apply for that.
That's what we just decided as far as the judgment too. If somebody was filled in until we could
Until you
appoint.
can appoint.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the same situation.
Except this would be more automatic.
Yeah,
You'd already
right,
have- You'd
yeah.
already have somebody to fill.
Right.
Okay. And Sean, what about the union portion? That was the other question.
Yes. So the next steps in this is of course the approval tonight. Then we're gonna have to meet with the union for that contract language. And the language we're looking for is the sergeant doesn't have disciplinary power. All he has is more of a leadership role within the department. And then after that, we're gonna post the position for 30 days within the department. And then the village board has to approve that position. And I'm looking to get this person started sometime either May or April or May.
And does the police commission have anything that we have to do with this?
Absolutely. The commission is responsible for appointing that position. So they will have to conduct interviews for that
The job
position,
description.
whoever is interested in it.
Oh, does the police commission have a full staff? And we have a resignation or something?
Yeah, we have a vacancy right now.
Or you have to fill that?
Well, technically, Deanne has said she doesn't want to run again. So she's in the spot until May. So, if she was able to come back to Spencer, you know, she's not in Spencer full time.
So what do we need tonight?
Tonight, we would approve the job description that we would share with the union. And then after the union approves of the job description, we would come back and ask for permission to fund the position at whatever wage is negotiated with the union. And then we would have a police commission to approve Sean's appointment. The person to that position.
Commission.
The commission would approve it. Tonight, we're just approving the job description.
Did review it. I thought it was pretty simple here. I guess I'll make the motion that create the position, department sergeant.
Technically, we're just gonna create the job description.
Second.
Okay,
Motion by Bill, second by Herman. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
right,
Opposed? Motion is carried. Ready to move on?
Thank you.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Item F. Discussion possible action on Ellis Stone pay request number 13 for the well number 7 water treatment plant number 2 project for $69,904.17 updated today.
I wish they could have all been this small. I even tried to make it a little bit smaller by taking that 0 out, but it didn't fly. Yeah, Town Country has approved this pay request. You got anything to add, Max?
This is just, we're getting towards the end of the look at the pay items we're paying for. I think it's almost the rest of the electrical and the SCADA work, which is basically the software that runs the new plant, and we'll run the old one and get that figured out. The rest of that will get paid when we go to over. And it'll be just kind of waiting on warranty items, and then we'll start talking about retainage. So
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Is not really concerned in this, but Max, is that, are they gonna go back in like a punch sheet at the end?
Yeah, so we have a preliminary punch list for the work that was done already.
Like little stuff like,
Yep.
spraying all over the place or little pins of crap like that.
Yes, yep, so they're working through that. We'll have more when they finish the work on the other stuff. So then we'll have like, I call it a final punch list.
Our as-bills completed.
Not yet. I have them. I'm slowly working through those. And then they have, the contractors have their sets that, Zach, the supervisor, is working to get to us, so. We're slowly working on it.
And we signed off
On the,
as-bills for
Yes.
the contract.
yes,
Should approve credit request number 13, $16,904,
Second by Al. Roll call.
Brophy,
Yes.
Jazinski,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
So far.
Yes. Item G, discussion possible action on the village of Spencer fee schedule. Page 33.
This is kind of just, get this in front of the board once a year. I'm actually not making any recommendations to change the fee schedule, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to look at it. In case you thought it was appropriate to change something. Last year, the only thing that we changed, I believe, was the cost of a fax. It's $2 to $4.
So I'm just asking, the Lions shelter, did we have any issues this last year? People taking care of it or not taking care of it?
We did not have any issues with any messes left in either the shelter or the room. That I can remember. Mary didn't have any issues.
That's what I'm just asking.
Yep.
Where do we have an RV hookup in the village?
There is an electrical hookup at the back corner of the parking lot over here. Where if someone with an RV wanted just to hook up to electrical. In theory, they can. When I first started here, I remember a few occasionally.
Yeah, when Trailblazer crew came, I mean, I think we need a lot of hookups, but
Yeah.
that's all.
Occasionally, we'll get a request from a resident that doesn't want to, have a relative park on the street, so they'll bring their RV and just park it here while they're visiting town.
That sounds like a great idea. Just put your over. We put him on the edge of town somewhere. Our Griswold comes to home.
There's no changes on this. We don't really need to make a motion.
If you guys are comfortable with it is, then we'll just leave it as it is. Yeah. I believe Sean, did you adjust any of your fees last year? I'll take that as a no.
I think she said no.
You probably.
He's-
Oh, it's wrong. Yeah.
No, I did not.
You got a little bit of
No.
lag there.
Are you there?
Yeah. in trouble.
Hello? No.
There you go.
Okay,
Uh,
are you on hotel Wi-Fi or your phone's Wi-Fi?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
so we don't, the alarm, when Marathon charges alarm, we don't get a part of that alarm fee that Marathon charges.
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Every year, if you have an alarm in Marathon County, they charge you $100
Alarm, what do you mean?
alarm, like an audible alarm, like a burglar alarm,
Like your building.
like your building alarm.
Like this, like the library or?
No, like if you have like a,
Our department doesn't,
right, John?
Doesn't charge.
No, our part, we don't charge, but we don't get a piece of that, do we?
no, that charges for, the sheriff's office charges that fee.
Yeah.
If they have to respond to, I think, over 3 of them for the 2 or 3 of them for the year, I forget.
Yeah, there's an annual
We
permit
could do
too.
something similar, but
Yeah,
we
there's
could
an
do
annual
something
permit, I just don't
similar,
know if we
but
get a piece of that.
we could do something similar.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. Like, what I was trying to say is we don't get that many alarms a year in the village, so I don't know if it'd be worth our time even coming up with a charge for that.
Yeah, I just was wondering if we got a piece of the one that the Marathon County does charge.
Yeah,
So no.
we don't.
No.
Other questions? Okay, if there's no changes, I don't need to do any action on this. Item H. Discussion possible action on a temporary Class B wine and a temporary Class B beer license for Spencer Swamp Stompers Antique Snow Show. No show on January 31st, 2026.
This is the first time I think they're gonna have wine, so that's becoming more popular. You're gonna see that on a lot of applications. Biggest thing to remember with the wine is that the state only allows 2 per 12-month period. So
Per group.
so groups that want to do wine have to be a little bit careful about which events they do.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Motion by Pat to approve, second by Jeremy. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item I, discussion possible action on temporary operator's licenses for Bruce Bonus and Amy Weber for Spencer Swamp Stompers Antique Snow Show on January 31st, 2026. Sean, I'm assuming
Recommend to
everything's okay?
approve.
He said-
Recommend to approve.
Okay. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeremy. I'll second it. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. That brings us to the vouchers. Discussion action on the approval of current vouchers.
A lot of highlights in yellow, those were added today. We don't always put tax payments on the vouchers. It just kind of depends on timing of when those go out to the other taxing jurisdictions, but just for your reference, the 3 payments to the other taxing jurisdictions for our January settlement are on this voucher, to Marathon County, to the Spencer Public Schools, and to NT. So that's what makes this total much larger than it would otherwise be. By state statutes, it's not required that the board approve those payments, but since we're having a meeting, we just thought we might as well put on the list.
Spindle broke from Swiderski.
On the back of the toolcat, the back wheels turn. And there's a tie rod comes out to the spindle and a little where it comes through, it actually split at the back wheel here.
I'm having a lot of problems lately.
It is, it's starting to get, what's that? It's gotta be 16, 15, so it's 10 going on 11 years probably. So. Yeah, believe it or not, it's surprising.
Al doesn't even have questions, that doesn't feel right.
Seen the final figure.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Are there any questions?
Motion to approve vouchers.
Motion by Jeremy to approve vouchers, second by Bill. Roll call.
Karolfi,
Yes.
Jazinski,
Yes.
Bowles, Baker, yes, Kraus.
Yep.
White.
Yes.
Yes. Clerk's report.
Just 3 building permits issued, before the end of the year. Kraus Investments, that was a nice one, putting up another new house on Robert Street, already started the foundation work last week. So
Kohler.
I think that's gonna be another legacy home. Verizon was doing an additional radio installation on top of the cell tower for another company.
Is that the one over here?
Nope, it's the one in the Monroe Street.
Do we get rent off of?
We do not,
Monroe Street.
no,
Do not.
I don't think so.
But, we will get, our assessor will be looking at it to increase the assessed value, so. Normally, we would not have processed a building permit like this in the village, but, it is nice to keep track of this stuff because the assessor will get at it. And then, one home removal out of Willow Grove, they had a cost to remove that. I-
As long as you bring up the mobile home court.
Mhm.
Nah. What, next month we will be, when are we approving the,
Not until, the end of spring, we'll do that, later in the year. Do you want to talk about States Avenue? Yeah, we can talk about States Avenue, we should set a meeting to do that.
we'll just tell them that I'm not happy that they haven't done much in 3 years.
Yeah, they have brought in 3 new trailers,
Yeah, well,
We
there's
taking any
no more
out?
junkers sitting there.
they still have a number to remove, absolutely. They did have a new, manager assigned to the park, at the end of fall, Tina.
She's still there?
She's still there. Yep. And, I
I'm
talked to her.
finding that Tina's not as reliable as anybody else that ever worked there.
That's comforting.
We have probably one off the top of my head and counting. We have 1, 2, 3 mobile homes that we probably need to get tough at getting out of there. They are junk. They're a danger in the park. So yeah, a meeting would be great with these guys to really demand some expectations.
Yeah, I would recommend setting a meeting to talk about
Absolutely.
that.
Well, you want to talk about that, and you want to talk about all the last week or last month a little bit on across from Ramrod.
Middle Street.
Oh,
Sean actually started that process.
He had that in his.
That was in the police report.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah.
How'd it go, Brad? Did he say?
Brad handled that. He'd be a little bit be able to fill you in on that one.
Buddies yet?
But pretty much basically, how much he loves me and how much he's really cooperative.
Yeah. That he did.
you got the same answer I got
But that,
40 years ago.
I know, I should go put some paint into that one, and fines and shit.
Yeah, I guess that's, I gave him until March 2nd.
Clean it up.
Some of the property, almost what I'm doing with 506, hoping to at least make some sort of progress. I guess as of now, haven't seen nothing. He does work over the road. Don't know how often he's back, but he didn't like that it's being forced upon him now, but he's had it for years.
It's had 30 years to clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he's just keeps adding.
Yeah, he keeps adding, and I noticed that too over, it looked okay there for a little bit, a few years ago. I
He
mean,
just keeps adding more crap.
now
crap,
it's
crap to it.
starting to be, yeah.
You get the bill, well, being a dead horse,
Well,
Billy's
yeah.
falling down.
I'll set it up for a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which committee would you guys want? Put it under health, emergency government, we put that under economic development.
Health and emergency government, I think, is why we had it.
Do the health.
Okay.
Report?
Trailer court and
Yeah, the both of those would be.
talk about really anything related to
Yeah,
this issue.
Yeah.
Just a note there about the court costs, with the joint municipal court, we share, in the cost of, the clerk that, the clerk's work to process the tickets and the citations. But Spencer's share for that work is actually gonna go down from 8.6 to 7%, starting each year. The relative difference in the number of citations processed by each community. So Stratford and Spencer both had a significant reduction in the amount of citations relative to Marshfield. And so Marshfield redid the math, and so then our share is gonna go down. Marshfield is up to 91% of the cost of the court, where they were closer to 85%.
No, like the lines here, tickets.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but it was nice of Marshfield to make that adjustment. Um, I wouldn't have thought of asking for it. I did want to mention the chloride issues. Our chloride limit went into effect January 1st on our wastewater discharges. FBC and Land O'Lakes have committed to a significant amount of capital improvements to help us meet that chloride limit. FBC spent $35,000 on a new water softener to replace the legacy water softener, and they've dropped their chloride discharges by a factor of 10, pretty significant. Our Land O'Lakes is just completing their installation of a storage tank to contain the leachate from their water softener, which they plan to haul off-site and dispose of elsewhere. Unfortunately, Land O'Lakes, due to capital investments in their budget cycles, wasn't able to get that project done before January 1. So we do anticipate having to inform the DNR of permit violations in January and February of this year. But it's Ethan's hope that if they understand that Land O'Lakes has, committed to this and have started that installation, Land O'Lakes has said that by March, they will have that system running and able to capture that. So I do not anticipate that we'll get more than maybe a notice of non-compliance from the DNR, if that. And then after that, we should be good to go on. I did also want to mention a conversation I had with Pat Kilty, who's the building inspector for the city of Marshfield. He is starting a new company to reach out to communities and do inspections for.
We did this before.
We did, and I just wanted to bring it up again, and at least in part because Bob Christensen is not going to be an inspector forever. And so Pat is actually working with Bob and another communities to start a transition to where eventually Pat could take over as an inspector for some of these other communities. So Pat wanted me to just share with you guys his proposal, which basically is it's a la carte as we would want it to be. We could do commercial inspections, we could do multifamily, and then at some point we could transition to residential if we wanted to. If and when Bob retires. But I thought I would just toss this out. His proposal last year was more of just, are you guys interested? This proposal actually has numbers associated with it. The residential fees are very similar to what Bob charges. Bob's a little bit less expensive because he sets his fees starting at 800 square feet and then works his way up. Whereas Pat starts his fee at 4,000 square feet. So for a house in Spencer, it's a little cheaper for Bob to do it, but not a lot. And of course, we don't do any commercial or multifamily inspections in Spencer at all. And quite frankly, the state doesn't have time to do those inspections. So this would be an opportunity to have those inspections done as well. But again, we can refer this to me, we can drop it, no one's interested. But I told Pat I'd share it with you.
We're not interested because of his attitude. What he's done to the city of Marshfield is because of his asinine inspections, he has driven so much work underground that he literally is doing nothing. That's what's happening because he doesn't work with anybody. It's my way or the highway. And that's one thing I would have a real problem with is all that. When you got someone with that attitude, next thing you know, everything does happen on Saturday. And then nobody's getting building permits or anything. Nobody likes working in the city of Marshall because of his attitude. Period. So this board member will never vote for his company to do it.
How do you really feel about it?
And this really isn't meant to be a back and forth, but
Right.
I know it's not. I'm just giving you my opinion because of what's
Okay,
happening.
that's all I had for my report. then.
Okay, let's move on to committee reports then. Finance personnel,
I'll wait, closed session.
okay. Utilities equipment. Parks and buildings,
No report?
health and emergency government.
I have nothing but, what's up?
So,
The mole.
Yeah.
We kinda,
so is there
well, you gotta check with her probably, right?
I guess it depends if we want to have a meeting to talk amongst ourselves before inviting someone from States Avenue. Is that what you mean?
What do you think? Do that pretty.
I might-
Internal discussion before we bring.
Yeah,
them
I
into
might
the
suggest we do
discussion.
that. So then, it's up to your,
We'll provide her with a list, you know.
yeah, it's totally up to you, Pat, as far as what your schedule is.
Who else is,
Everybody's gonna show up.
there we go. Okay, so is everybody,
I would appreciate not Thursdays because we have resident answers.
Thursdays I'm out anyways.
Okay,
I'm good. Next 2 Mondays, otherwise, February, I'm gone the second week. In February, so next Tuesday, anybody? Next Tuesday, next Monday, are we able to do anything on Monday? Next Monday we could,
yeah,
oh, I mean, it's Martin Luther King.
we're not off on Monday here in this.
That's great.
No, that's,
Who's on that committee?
it is Pat. Yeah.
I'm good either one of them days.
Bill and Phil are
Monday the 19th?
May the 19th at 6:30.
I knew we went to 6:30.
6:30.
So,
Okay. And that brings us to economic development
no report.
report and streets and sidewalks
Nothing.
and fire and ambulance.
So we had a meeting Thursday night. First thing is, fire commission consists of 15 people. There's only 8 there. That gets, and that's the least amount we can have. Yeah, for having attendance issue.
I do apologize. I
understand.
I got a message
You are
on-
officially one of the.
I know, but I felt like I should have,
I'm just bringing that up.
yes.
Because when you see other town boards members, just tell them, if we don't hold meetings, then what? The other issue that came up is, the parking lot. They want to do a cement apron from the front of the firehouse. There's a sidewalk going
There will
in,
be a sidewalk.
so from the front of the firehouse out to the sidewalk, they'd like to do a cement apron, which makes sense. And then they had the parking lot, so they have the east side, then they have the north side and the driveway. He broke that apart into 2 chunks. And if I remember right, it was almost 200,000 of blacktop. And we didn't even have the bid for the concrete yet.
Well, didn't that number include blacktop where the concrete was gonna be?
Oh,
No.
he said from,
The east side
the east side.
and the north side and the driveway.
Really?
And that was just the blacktop. So it's obvious that we can't spend that much money in 1 year. So it was, they're gonna, next meeting, we'll have the bids for the concrete.
Hold on, shorts.
And then that will be done in conjunction with the new Willow.
Well, they have $50,000 or $60,000 in the building fund. Are they anticipating that it will exceed that amount?
Oh, concrete?
Concrete
Yeah.
will.
Concrete will.
So do they have the revenue to pay for it, or do they have the funds to?
Well, that wasn't decided. But they brought up the blacktop in the aspect that it'll have to be divided up into years. Couple years project, just because of the size.
Well, I was even wondering if the concrete would have to be broken up in years.
I don't know that. Again, we didn't have bids. At least he didn't have them in front of us. Other than that, Harry, that
That's
was,
about it. That was the biggest issue was the parking lot.
yeah. They're still having issues, the ambulance billing, that's a third party that does the billing. They're still having some issues working through that with the billing people.
Numbers are still strong.
Membership is still strong. And then we did approve a new ambulance. 345, is that right? New ambulance, 345, is that the right number?
I couldn't tell you, I'm not a part of that.
It was 300 something, I thought last time we
So
talked.
it's 345 or 360,000, didn't write it down.
You go to another car.
Sounds not horrible.
Yeah, compared to the one we're driving is 125,000.
Was compared to the last big chunk.
Right, but
Last vehicle.
but that has been ordered. Promisol, or I forget. But anyway, that's been ordered. And then they showed us a usage for the last 15 years of calls. And it's gone up significantly. I should have brought that over and bring it, but the calls have gone up since last
Yeah,
year.
there are some years in the middle where they dropped a little bit, but the last few years it's been,
It's a steep hill.
it's steep,
It's
very
steep.
steep.
With EMT making up the majority of them.
Well, they're all combined. He didn't give us a breakdown per call or type of call. He just mentioned or just showed us the chart of calls. It was almost 400 for the year, I think, 3 something.
Yeah.
For our little department.
On average, they go out every day.
Well, that was the report.
Okay. Seeing that we ask for motion to enter into closed session for Wisconsin statute 5.E, deliberating, all that stuff.
Make a motion for interim closed session for all that stuff.
Second, all that stuff.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are in closed session.
Yeah.
No, Mike.
Let me find the button for it.
There.
That's up.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are out of here.
Thank you.
It's moving right along, I see.